So self-aware is aware of what's going on in the self, the small s and the capital S. It's like the difference between the two of what is the experience, like the truth of it, and compared to what am I making up about it? What is my ego? What is my past? What is my experience? What is what I've learned? How is that? How is that shaping how I see what's happening to me, like the current situation? And like self-aware requires, for me, requires like a patience, a peacefulness, a calmness to just be able to see what is
Yeah, it
without,
requires space.
it's a great word, space, versus fixedness, right? Where we, if we say it's this, that, like our experience, then we're saying it's this, locking it in, closing the space that it can only be that. And that becomes our automatics.
Mm. Yeah.
And the automatics are amazing. It's just when they're in conflict. And we don't know it, meaning it's tug of war with what we want, with what we're trying to experience, with what we need to experience.
Yeah, they are gift if we see it as is. When we're self-aware, like that's, like instead than going to the automatic, like, like it's inevitable that like these feeling will rise up, but instead then, grabbing it and then like attaching it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, well, oh, that anger comes up again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I just step back and breathe through it? Let's try that this time.
Right. And what is fueling this anger? Like, where is it coming from? What is causing it? And that's usually the thing, is that the cause is just below the surface, that we're not looking at it fully.
Mm-hmm.
We're not allowing like the lesson to come through because of our shallow avoidance, if you will. Because there's something that says that we're not supposed to feel like negative or down or angry, like we're not supposed to feel those things.
Right, right.
That's not the case.
even I just did a breath work, and it was conscious breathing. And then like he says like, you breathe through and then like feel the gratitude and the love and this and that. And then like, but then like he says like you want to squeeze the perineum and your abs, your lower abs, to bring that energy up the spine to the crown chakra. Well, when I did that, like it's that jealousy and then like it's anger and all that stuff that comes up. And then I'm like, no, I'm not gonna feel like love and gratitude right now. Let's sit in the feeling of that jealousy and then the anger and all that. And because we're like you said, like we're afraid of our feeling, right? To feel those lower
Mhm.
feelings.
Mhm.
We're avoiding them. And what happened, we're just suppressing them. We're just pushing them down, down, down. But these things were always going to resurface through a more challenging experience to just kind of like wake up. It's time to feel this feeling again. And you're like,
Mhm.
no, 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 right? I just
Mhm.
feel love. I'm happy. I'm grateful. That's why I feel like these affirmation,
Mhm.
they don't work,
Yep,
right? Because inside of you, you're like, no, I'm not.
that's right. It's not a, it's just doing more of avoiding it.
Yeah, it's artificial.
Yeah, it's trying to convince yourself you're not,
Right.
but but I am, because we feel things.
Yeah.
Ah, good morning, Craig.
Morning, Craig.
Good morning.
That's so funny. I was thinking about you this morning. That's like, yeah, it's all synchronicity. Uh,
We're exploring self-awareness this morning.
Isn't that appropriate?
And I'll frame the two self-aware. I think there's two categories that I work with it. And one is like the internal, right? What is the internal? What are we saying, doing, thinking, feeling, believing, values on the inside? And then the second is like self-aware, is we're aware of what people think of us. Better yet, like us judging others and others judging us. Now, judging is a strong word, and it's not inclusive, but our tendency is to judge ourselves, like we were just talking about, is like judge ourselves for having feelings. And then we also can judge others, like how we compare. Or we can be afraid that others are judging us. And all of that in our self-aware shapes how we see it and what we do. Well, that's what I would wrap up as are self-aware this morning. And Pascal, I'd love you to wrap it up, and then we can. And Craig's invited in.
Well, I discovered there's two self. So there's the capital S self and then the lowercase self. And we juggle between the two. Right? We're aware of a pattern and then like, oh, okay. And then we go back center. We center ourselves. And then oh, there's something else that's coming up, and then like we center ourselves again. If we want to, but the other option is like to kind of push it down these feelings, right? That comes up. But what I discover now, it's everything is a gift. Everything that comes up is a gift for me. Because if it wouldn't come up, then what's the point? Right? So like if I have anger or sadness towards something or fear, instead than avoiding the feeling, feel the feeling and be done with it. Until next time. Because like I mentioned I was doing some breath work this morning. And this guy, like it was based on Joe Dispenza's work, and like it was like squeeze the perineum, squeeze the lower abs, and bring that energy up towards the spine through the crown chakra. And he was like, and then you want to feel gratitude and love and this and that. But when I did that, I felt jealousy, anger, all that stuff, right? So I'm like, no, like my avoidance would be like, yeah, I'll feel joy, I'll feel love, I'll feel gratitude, but then I'm not dealing with any issue. And then when I breathe through like that anger, that jealousy and stuff, like it starts to dissipate. And now I can feel that joy. Now I can feel that gratitude, right?
It's like having to explore the emotions or feelings that we don't want to.
So now I invite you in, Craig. With the old timer amigos.
Yeah, isn't that sweet? Well, to start off with, you guys aren't going to believe this, but I happen to be in Phoenix at the moment.
Back in Phoenix, huh?
Yeah, back in Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah, I came to visit Maureen for a few weeks.
Oh, great.
Because I needed a mental health break.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the thing about awareness is it's a big deal to me. Just the whole thing about these feelings that come up and memories. For example, are, like you say, Pascal, they're gifts. because what they do is they bring things into our awareness that for whatever reason are it's important that we're aware of them. And I'd say my life journey, especially the past 5 years, is about coming to that realization, because what I realize now is that all my life has been unconsciously to me, or out of my awareness, has been guided and nudged by my superconscious, or kind of a soul path that I was meant to travel from the time that I was conceived. And for some reason, it was really important that my day-to-day life, I'd be unaware that that's what was going on, so that I wouldn't consciously interfere with it. And there's something that happens when you become aware that that's what's been going on your whole life, that gives you the opportunity to consciously participate in it. To make a conscious choice that I want to live this life that I've been given to give, or given to live.
Yeah.
And actually making the choice to sync up with that, to sync up with what's already started. And then the second choice there is how much do I want to participate with it? Like, am I going to be kind of, one toe in the water, or am I going to dive in? And for me, that's been a choice, about a conscious choice to dive into it fully and take it from here, and be conscious that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And
a lot of faith in that, huh?
Oh yeah.
And it's like unseen, untested, unproven faith, which goes against the historical patterns.
Just the green. Yeah, that's all. Blue's coming to me, right? I think so. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, so it's really a matter of.
Thank you.
It's a really matter of learning to trust, on a step-by-step basis, that everything's meant to unfold this way.
Right. Letting go of how we think it has to go.
Right. Or how we think we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Yeah. And the word think in there is really key to me, because it's that's what tends to happen, is we're somehow convinced to live this small s self life.
Mm-hmm.
as if that's the be all end all.
Yep.
And it turns out it's really not.
And that's where all the
It's just
problems
in,
exist.
yeah. Well, that's where all the illusion is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the Maya. That's the fabricated life.
Dissatisfaction.
So, yeah. 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 Yeah.
The fabricated dissatisfaction.
And I would add it's a misinterpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's dozens of misinterpretations in it.
Mm.
And so, and it's that small s, right? All of that we think, feel, believe, remember, that small s, what we want. That's from the truth, the capital S, the soul, like what is our purpose? And it's like the journey between the two.
Yeah. Yeah. The journey between the two and the transition from one to the other. Yeah.
We said it in here earlier. I loved it. Is like the echoes of truth. We are following. We are looking for. We're being guided. That capital S with the echoes of truth. Because it's not usually direct. It's more like echoes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's kind of hidden from us for most of our lives.
By us.
Well, yeah, partly by us, partly by society, partly, that's because that's kind of the thing. Right. But I also, through all this, see a day of the future human as the future human comes into being, we'll be dealing with this issue less and less and less.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I already see that in young people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, young people don't have anywhere near the amount of interference issues that I've had to deal with in my life.
Yeah. The truth keeps opening up, right? And,
yes. Yeah.
And the acceptance of that truth.
Well, I'll tell you, like with Kai, even for his physical body, like he hurt himself. Like he's not like, in bubble wrap all day, right? So he hurt himself, but like he goes over it like so quickly.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes like you'll have like, something on his knee or something, and like doesn't hurt, right? Like it's just like, no, it's fine, right? Like, it's just he's not associating himself so much with his physical body. That's what I
and with the pain he experiences, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like he's got this built-in resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's my teacher in a sense because, he gets angry, he gets frustrated, whatever, right?
Yes.
And it's to me to not suppress it, not try to suppress it.
Right.
For him to kind of feel it truly, and then it's gone.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But it's not an easy thing because when like baby been crying for a while. You're like, oh, should I give him something? Should I give him, like, does he want to, like, when everything is met, like, you're like, what do you want, right?
Yeah.
But then you realize he just want to be present with you.
Yeah.
He just wants you to be there. That's it.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be given something to appease it.
Mm.
Yeah. He actually wants to experience it with you or in your presence. Yeah. So attention, maybe. Yeah, that's interesting.
And he says, Dad, bring your compassion.
Mm.
Yeah. Bring your compassion and sit with me for a few minutes. Be with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See it through with me.
Because I mean, I'm a new parent, right? So like,
Yeah.
It's all new to me, right? Like,
Well,
when
exactly.
they start crying, like, great.
Do you make up a lot of stories in your head when they start crying, Pascal?
Yeah, like about why that might be.
Right. Yeah.
I have to figure out the reason so I can solve it for him, right?
So deep, so that I can fix it, so I can solve it, so I can relieve you of it.
Yeah. Which is an assumption that's easy to make when you haven't experienced relief for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In one way or another.
Yep. And we can do all sorts of things to mask that relief. We've learned them. They become our habits, our automatics, and we're unaware of them for the most part.
All right, I'm back. I don't know what happened again.
Yeah, I noticed you were gone for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, every time I say something and then just like, Zoom doesn't like it. I don't know.
Oh, that's been me, Pascal.
That's been you, eh? You're like, you're stealing my thunder. I love that.
Bye, Pascal. Click.
You can talk to yourself now. Oh, you won't realize for a while, and then like 2 minutes later, ding ding. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
He's back again.
In all the different ways that it can be, and we make up the way that it is.
Yeah, there you go. It's back with awareness again.
It's the core principle. I mean,
yeah. The thing is that you do it with the awareness that you've been doing that all along.
Yes.
You've been creating your own reality right from square one.
Yeah.
Layers of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been creating the people around you, the event, everything.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. The play and the stage
Right.
Yeah, can you be
and the
mad at a
characters.
can you be mad at a parents that, you know, treat you really bad like when you were young? You can't really, because you create them to have these experiences that are so real, that brought you these gifts, like feeling for you to feel.
I hear that as stepping into the acceptance of them, like to allowing them. And most people are so afraid to take that first step.
You know,
I mean, it is different. That's all.
because like
But it
when we
is,
get to that point, we have nobody to blame.
it's right. And that's scary.
Yeah,
But it doesn't need to be. Like, why do we need to live a life of blame? Or even judge? Or even prove? You know, everyone has their driver, right? Or their tendency. It's just we do it without seeing it. And that again is the awareness aspect, so that we can change it. Letting go, accepting and letting go is is mm, is
yeah,
yeah, shortens the distance between the small s and the big S.
less is more.
Yeah, and the only one that's real is the big S.
Sorry, Craig, I didn't follow that.
Yeah, the only one that's real is the big S.
Ah, yeah, thank you. Yes, yeah, so true, so true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one that was obscured
Yep, yep,
for so long.
yep. That we obscured as a child from the structures of how we saw our reality, our world.
Right, right. And that's kind of the point of individuation, isn't it?
It is. And it's like the point of being in this world,
Yeah.
being alive.
For some reason, it's important to understand futility.
Futility.
Futility,
Futility.
like futile. This is pointless.
Mm.
Which part is pointless?
The illusion,
Yeah, good, thank you.
the individuality.
Mhm. The defenses that we have put up for protection,
Right. The separation,
the separation, yeah,
you know,
the vision.
the idea that that's the default.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's you and me, like we are separated.
Yep. Yeah. That we're actually individual.
Mhm. And the futile, the pointless side of it is the beliefs that we hold on to as the truth.
Correct. Yeah. 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 The delusions that we hold on to.
Mhm. Now,
And the denial.
now we had to do that from that time to protect and be safe for ourselves.
Yeah.
Look at the separation when you were talking, right? I, you, he, we,
Mhm.
they.
Yeah.
It's in our language.
It is.
Oh,
So
totally.
much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially English.
Yeah.
English is a very, very
Well,
binary
French too.
language.
French the same.
Difference is though French actually delineates between masculine and feminine, and English doesn't.
Yeah, but that's another kind of separation.
Yeah. English is a lot more individual. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And it's, well, in the separation is where we in the English have created meaning.
Yeah.
So we pull out the differences, which we could just as easily assume to look at the similarities.
Exactly. Yeah.
We could value the similarities. But if you think of products we purchase, right, which is what we value, we don't look at what are all the things that are the same. We look at what is the difference.
Yeah.
What's the value proposition?
Yes.
What sets you apart? Or it's like it's what we do it and we're so unaware of it. I mean, the next time you consider buying something on Amazon, right? It's like you look at that price because that price is separated, right? And then you look at the make assessments between the things you're going to buy. The differences.
I love the analogy of RJ. I don't know if you guys heard it before, but imagine you're in the kitchen and then you wanna. I got a lot of echo. Is it you guys or?
Uh, I can
You hear
kind of
that?
hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
I'm not
your
hearing
end.
it at all.
you're not hearing it at all. Maybe it's
Nope.
you, Craig. I don't know.
Could
But
be.
anyway,
I
I'm not
only hear it
sure.
when you talk, Pascal.
Only when I talk.
Yeah.
Strange. Okay. Anyway,
Do you want to connect
so
again if
like,
you want?
sorry.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's still on. Maybe if I lower my volume, maybe. Now? Now
Yeah,
it's
I
the
still
same.
hear it. Yeah.
Weird.
And especially that you hear it.
Yeah, it's so annoying. It's the worst. So imagine like you're cooking like peanut butter cookie, and then you got this big ball of dough, and then you put like all your best ingredients, obviously peanut butter, and then like you put coconut shavings, some some chocolate chips, anything you want, right? So like you mix it all together, right? So we're all one big dough, and then you spread it on the sheet, and then you're making like as perfect as you can, right? Like you got the perfect mold, and then you're making it every cookie be the same. So as they're cooking and stuff, you pull them out. Now they become self-aware of each other. Now one has like a bit more like peanut butter, the other one is more shaving, the other one is a bit different shape, different this, different that. And then that's, it's between the oneness versus separation. And then like, he said it way better than me, but yeah, it's the gist of it is like, we're all one and then we get separated, right? So.
Mhm. Do you ever judge the cookie you take?
In terms of cookie, no.
Yeah, I do.
But in terms of people,
Yeah, in terms
well,
of my
yeah,
cookie,
no, it's
I
not
want the
true.
best looking cookie.
Yeah, it's not like cookies, maybe not, but like pizza, I do, yeah, yeah. The one that's got the most chicken, the most this, most that, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
you're like, and then I always ask my wife, be like, Are you still hungry?"
Oh, what a
Are you
gentleman!
sure
What a
are you sure
gentleman!
you want another slice? Like you've been working out quite a lot, so like it's gonna mess up your weight. Oh.
Such a gentleman.
Yeah, yeah. Just want to make sure, make sure.
Make sure
But
she's watching her figure.
yeah, but I would admit, I would say my view changed quite a bit since we got Kai, though.
Yes, it
I
does.
make I definitely make sure like he eats it properly, you know. Because usually like I'll be eating like I love fruit, right? So I'll be eating fruit and I won't even tell my wife at all. But I know like my son loves fruit and then like and I give him some, and
Yeah.
then most of the time maybe the whole half, right? So and it makes me feel good and makes him feel good. So all good.
Hey, man, it's your story. We're just living around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my illusion, right? My illusion. Thanks for listening, no?
Well, and I can relate. It's like, it had me think of Troy. It's like, oh, yeah, he was giving us shit last night because I bought some, the candy corn pumpkins. Now it's this time of year, candy corn. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta have some of that. And he gives us shit because it's like, yeah, one of those would last him like up 2 months. Like one piece of candy. because he'll like he'll take a little nibble of it, right? And he gave us shit like that. I said, like, well, look, not all of us have aspirations to be Olympic gymnasts.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the concern for health.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loved fruit, loves fruit to this day, and he's got greater willpower than I do.
Yeah, same as my wife. Like, she'll open every bag of chips, but she'll eat like 10 of them, right?
Yeah,
But I'll finish it.
right.
Yeah.
But I won't open any.
Yep. Yeah, don't need them unless I. Yeah.
No.
Well, can't let it go to waste.
Yeah, they get
There's our
dry.
there's our scarcity that comes in.
Everything is related, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When we slow down to take a look at it, I think there's so much of slowing life down, which the other word is to be present, which is like a measure of self-awareness, being present. And it's like in the present, what are we aware of? Is where you can be aware of our being and our doing, because that in any moment we are doing those two things. And really that's all we're doing. Like, though being and doing is what makes us alive. Being is the feeling.
And what is a feeling?
I think it's a charge of energy. I would say it's an energy, an urge, a sensation. It's like we humans are energy in motion. So that's being in motion. That's energy in motion. That's energy that's doing. So being in doing. We are beings that do. So energy in motion.
But there's a difference between an emotion and a feeling.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
And people even include moods. You know, and what I don't know, like I'll toss out, is um, does the feeling or the thought come first? And I don't think it matters. But I do think each situation is different for which one comes first. But I think the key is to the awareness of which one is it.
Yeah, doesn't the awareness make a difference?
Oh, I think so. If doing is automatic, sorry, without any consideration to the being aspect of it, which is, I think, how I used to run my life.
Yeah,
I mean, if society puts so much emphasis on the doing, and the being is kind of the leftovers, right? Well, we don't want to talk about that. It's like the dirty stepchild,
yeah,
when in reality the being is the catalyst to the doing.
yeah, yeah.
Align those two up and you've got tremendous momentum.
That's interesting where that line of idea is going. Because what I'm realizing now, that just from you talking about it, is that even as a little child, I had really intense sensations in my body. And somehow I learned to ignore them,
Mhm.
or to overlook them.
Mhm.
And the perspective of that is coming from now. Now I realize that's that whole attentiveness to sensation is a real superpower, because that's where inspiration and intuition and insight, it all lies in those sensations,
Mhm.
and the meaning that is derived from them.
Yep. Yeah, by breaking through that layer, reaching down in there and pulling out what's underneath.
Right, yeah, from being attentive to the sensation and
Mhm.
what it could mean.
Yeah. What could that mean? What could be causing that? Without a doubt,
Right,
that opens it,
yeah,
invites it in.
yeah, and you realize that the sensation itself is potential.
Mhm.
It's potential energy
Yep,
that's right there, which means it could mean anything.
that's
it,
right.
it could become anything.
And at first, we miscategorize it, right?
Yeah,
We misinterpret it because we've
yeah,
always interpreted it one way.
yeah,
And all we're doing is setting down that way we've always done it and say, okay, I'll look at you differently and see what comes out of it.
yeah,
And that's the beginning of letting it go, or unfinding, or like uncovering what it is to discover. Otherwise, that
yeah,
feeling, that sensation's going to keep playing over and over again in those very similar situations
yeah,
until you get the message.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Those damn echoes of truth. Like, why can't you just send me a letter, God?
Yeah, yeah,
Just send it to
yeah,
yourself.
Your capital S, right? Like, well, exactly, right? It's like, oh, somebody else has got to send me the direction. Do you see how
Yeah.
I'm just granting that?
Hmm. Yeah. No,
yeah.
no judgment. It's your story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jesse. Yeah.
Thanks for participating with me, Pascal.
Yeah.
It is. And we can laugh at it, right? Self-aware people can laugh at it. Otherwise, you're fighting it, judging it, defending it, avoiding it,
Classifying it.
classifying it, blaming, and all sorts of, like, there's so many things that we can, each of us do our own thing. And many are looking for someone out there to give them the answer, when really the answer is inside of you, inside of me. And times like this, where we can get together and express and share, and is how we progress in life. We said, like, expressing our genius. Like, that is the essence of life. So if you were to say, self-aware means to be aware of what?
The sensations your body feels.
And how do you distinguish sensations? Well,
I try not to.
Yeah. Well,
To
it's
be
like
honest.
I think my answer, like the obvious for me, first of all, was to name it. Otherwise, it's just something back there in the background that's causing distractions, and I don't know what it is. So that's like one. I think the first step is to identify, name, observe, like to name it. Which would make sense, right? To name the feeling, it would be part of the self-aware. And sometimes when I name it, it's not the right name.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's not that. Well, maybe it's this. And what's fascinating is we can all talk about the emotions. We can all name the emotions. The disconnect is being able to feel them when we say them.
Yeah.
Our emotional vocabulary is very shallow.
Yeah, because talking about them won't dissolve them.
That's right.
They're supposed to be felt. They're feeling.
Mhm. And again, it's something that's out there that doesn't exist within us. Again, just a separation.
Yeah. I prefer to try to not use language
Hmm. Well,
if
tell me
if
about
I
that.
can. Because it's as I feel sensations, it's as if my cells are communicating with me.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
And meaning doesn't have to be a definition. And sensations don't always have to mean the same thing.
True that. True that. Every moment is different.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you stand back far enough and let it have its own context without boxing it into one.
Again, like there's being, it's like giving space to it. Like you're aware, you're giving it space.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like what is it, is it's the message. So you're giving space to wait to reveal the message.
Yeah. Yeah. Potential always wants to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a desire inside it. There's an intention inside it.
Yeah. The potential.
Yeah. And giving it space to reveal itself.
Yes, I like that. It's like it's the practice of being with it. Name it or don't. Just give it the space to reveal. Because when it reveals, it's when it can be let go, right? It can be implemented. It can be acted upon.
Mm-hmm.
Because being, doing is creating.
Mm.
Well, gentlemen, thank you. It's been a great morning. Really enjoyed it.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Great,
Yeah.
great to
be
be
here.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Missed you.
kidding. Yeah, well, I missed you guys too.
Yeah. So now you're going to Phoenix for how long?
I'm going to be here another week.
Okay. But you're
Yeah.
in Phoenix right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.